Mr. Stark, could I please ask you what you are doing? The Avengers need your help.
Jarvis, not right now. Oneofus.net have got a brand new show and I need to go and watch it. Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new show here on Oneofus.net. Now I am Chris Harrison, and I was lucky enough to be one of the interns here at Oneofus.net. So when the conversation with Brian turned to creating some video content, well, the conversation pretty much went like this.
Do what must be done.
I will do whatever you ask.
Good.
So I'm really excited, and I hope you guys are as well. So let's not waste any more time, let us go. So Commissioner Gordon is getting his own TV show. In a surprise announcement, the show will feature a young Commissioner Gordon as he fights crime in Gotham City with the police station, and it will feature, and I quote, the villains that made Gotham what it is. So I'm assuming, you know, some of the rogues gallery will probably feature in there as well. This is quite interesting. There is a comic book entitled Gotham Central, which kind of uses that idea as a springboard. There is no Batman. It features a new cast of characters who work in the police station, the MCU, and it focuses on them instead of anyone else. And I read the first issue of this for preparation of this episode, and it's actually really, really interesting. The fact that there's so much prejudice against Batman, activating the bat signal is almost something that they're ashamed of. You know, it's almost their admittance of defeat, so they really don't like to do it. That's something that's really, really interesting, and I hope that they use this comic book as a springboard for that. And ultimately, you know, this show could end up being kind of 24 but set in Gotham City or something like that. And a lot of it's going to rely on who they pick to play Commissioner Gordon. Now, Digital Spy have said that it should be David Tennant. I think the reason that they said this was because of Broadchurch and the success that had here in the UK and also here in the US. Now, David Tennant is doing really, really well right now. You know, Politician's Husband, Broadchurch, all that kind of great shows. I think he is doing stuff right now that's at the top of his career. Probably better than Doctor Who, to be honest. Whether or not he'd want to go over to America and do, 5-6 years on a TV show, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he wanted to do that again. And I wouldn't, it's that thing like what they did with Bryan Cranston, he played a bald villain, he should play Lex Luthor. David Tennant plays a detective, he should play Commissioner Gordon. I don't like how that works in casting. I'd rather he was cast because he's a really good actor, because he's really talented, because he's right for the part, essentially, and not for any of those other reasons. One of my worries about this is, come when this airs, we'll have Arrow, we'll have this, and we'll also have the Flash series that was recently announced. So that will be 3 DC properties on primetime TV at the same time. Probably not sharing the same universe. I mean, I'm sure Arrow and the Flash will probably share the same universe, but we're going to have Batman versus Superman, the Commissioner Gordon show. My worry is that it's not going to be very well planned out in correlation to Marvel's stuff, which is really well thought out. The TV, the film, it all works together, it all relates, and it was all planned. The reason that Christopher Nolan's trilogy of Batman worked out so well was he meticulously planned that universe and everything that was going to happen within each film. And I feel that the networks maybe just, let's do this, 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 but not planning it through and not seeing it through the way they should. But I'm hoping for the best for this. I think it's one to watch. So in other Batman news, the Ultimate Collector's Edition Blu-ray was released this week. It's a 6-disc set. and features the films and a whole bunch of special features and all that great stuff. Now, the interesting thing is this documentary. It's an extensive look at the making of Batman, the origin of bringing Batman back after Batman and Robin, and how that went about. And some of the audition tapes have actually been released since then. So we have been able to see Christian Bale, funnily enough, dressed as Val Kilmer's Batman. This is, of course, before they would have had new Batman suits and things like that, so they just went for whatever was at hand. And lo and behold, Val Kilmer's suit was still there, and yeah, something about the chin not sitting quite right is just very, very distracting in the video. But I can see why he was chosen as Batman. As Chris Nolan pointed out, it's all about, it's communicating the iconography of Batman, and Christian Bale he nails that quite a lot within the audition video.
It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me. Trouble?
Nothing I can't handle.
He knows who was at the docks.
He won't talk.
He'll talk to me. Who was Val Kilmer at the docks?
I don't know, I swear to God.
Swear to me.
What in God's name are you?
I'm Batman.
We've also had images of Cillian Murphy's audition as Batman. He, of course, went on to play the Scarecrow in all 3 movies. And strangely enough, he kind of looks like Val Kilmer in the suit, which is weird. There is also some images of Anne Hathaway and her audition tapes from Catwoman. And it's very interesting that, the suit's almost there as it is in the film, but her hair is very different. And, it almost makes the character very different. She almost seems like another person. So, those things are interesting. And as an actor, it's interesting to remember that, these big Hollywood actors, they do still have to audition for things. They do still have to work hard before, the premieres and they're on the big screen. And a lot of these people that do these kind of auditions, they never ever... they never get the part, they're never heard of in that role, and it looks like a really, really, really good set. I would probably recommend this for any Batman fan. So all you need to do is head over to Oneofus.net, click on the links to get to Amazon, and purchase. So a video is floating around the internet of a discussion talk, a presentation that Lucasarts did, demonstrating some really, really cutting edge and pretty much really cool technology. When you're doing effects, you have to, layer by layer, once you've shot on green screen, create your effects and add them, and then render it. Their technology that they were showing rendered it all in real time. You would never, I don't think you'd want to use this for Star Wars. You'd want to go out, shoot in costume. Well, I would. George Lucas probably wouldn't. But I think this technology is very, very interesting. And I think, it's a testament to how much LucasArts push what they do and how George Lucas started that, if anything. Yeah, he buggered up the prequels a little bit. Yeah, he likes money, but, he really is at the forefront of those cutting-edge things that are still happening today. I mean, he brought film making digitally into the mainstream single-handedly, essentially. He made the first cameras with Sony. And it's very interesting to see this video, so take a little look. So you guys all like Seth Rogen, Jonah Hill, yeah, it's okay. I don't really like him personally, but they are teaming up with Evan Goldberg to bring Sausage Fest, which is an R-rated animated movie which follows a sausage on its quest to discover the truth about its existence. After falling out of a shopping cart, our hero Sausage and his friends embark on a perilous journey through the supermarket to get back to their isles before the 4th of July sales. Now, like I say, these guys are kind of hit and miss for me. But I like animation. I like The Simpsons. I like Family Guy. I like American Dad. I like the most adult of them all, South Park. And there are a lot of animated things on in the cinema. But it's all for kids. Yeah, they throw in jokes for the adults. Ha 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 ha. But why don't adults get more R-rated comedies that are animations? I've never really got that. So this could be one to watch, honestly. So the first images of Dumber and Dumber 2 have been released, and that's TO. Jeff Daniels, Jim Carrey, my God, these guys have aged. I mean, good Lord, they're so old. They look like they're melting. I've never really got the appeal of Dumb and Dumber, to be honest. Yeah, there are some funny moments, but I never found it as funny as I guess everybody else does. So I can't say I'm really looking forward to this. Please don't hate me for that. So Days of Future Past is a film that's coming out soon. It's the most recent X-Men film. Time travel, 2 casts, old and young. And Hugh Jackman recently told MTV that this could be the last time that he plays Wolverine. Now, of course, that's not the first time that we've heard, I'm not playing Wolverine anymore. But, I mean, yes, this guy isn't going to play Wolverine forever. Now, the question becomes, who replaces him, or do they replace him? Is this a character that can be like James Bond, and we change it up every few years when the actor gets too old or wants to move on? Or when Hugh Jackman stops, is that it? No more Wolverine. What would you do then? It's an interesting question. It was one that was brought up quite recently with Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man. Questions or whether or not he'll play Iron Man after Avengers 2. And the question comes, do they kill him off? Do they get someone else to do it? And I don't think there's an easy answer to it. Do you want to see someone else play Iron Man? No. Do you want to see Iron Man at all? Probably, yeah. So, I mean, I'm going to throw that one out to you guys. Would you want to see new actors take on these roles? Would it have to be a reboot of the franchise for that to happen? Or do you think someone could step into those shoes? And who do you think could do it for Wolverine? Who do you think could do it for Iron Man? I'm very curious to know. So S.H.I.E.L.D. Was another big piece of news this week. It premiered its first episode, and I was lucky enough to see it, and yeah, it was great. I mean, in a sense, it was quintessential Joss Whedon. It did not disappoint on that sense. It was very fast-paced, it was quick-witted, all the elements were there for a really, really great show. It was great to see J. August Richards back on TV. He, of course, played Gunn in Angel. He had a fantastic monologue near the end, which was just great, actually. One of his sort of best performances I've ever seen him in. One thing that really bugged me about it was the music was a little bit... it was fine, but, it hit all the beats it needed to, but there wasn't that one theme, that one piece of music, that made you go, yeah, that's S.H.I.E.L.D. Of course, they couldn't use the Avengers music, the Avengers theme, but there was just something lacking from it. And there was no snazzy opening credits either, which I was kind of sad about. I always enjoy the Joss Whedon credits. I get there, it was a pilot, and pilots don't tend to have them if they have them. But you should definitely check this out. I think it has a lot of potential. It broke a lot of records for ratings, and the reaction's been very good, actually. I think Joss Whedon will be very happy with that. So Vince Gilligan is a guy who is very popular at the minute. He created this little show called Breaking Bad. You might have heard of it. It's alright. Yeah, I didn't really watch it myself. I'm actually only on season 3 of Breaking Bad now. I was a late bloomer, so I'm still catching up. So he of course is developing the Better Call Saul spin-off. Not sure how I feel about that yet. But he also has another TV show in development right now, Battle Creek. So Battle Creek is a show that Vince actually wrote around 10 years ago and tried to get it in development, but at the time it was passed on. But now that he's so big, everyone wants to create anything that's to do with him, and the show has been commissioned. The showrunner will be house showrunner David Shore, and it will feature two detectives with wildly different personalities. Now, he, of course, started his career as a writer on producing the X-Files, so he actually has quite a lot of experience in detective work and personality clashes and all that kind of stuff with Mulder and Scully. So I want to talk a little bit about the Star Trek Blu-ray. Now, it was released a couple of weeks ago and there was a very, very controversial issue with it. A lot of the bonus features, the commentaries, had been stripped away from the disc itself, and they were either sold separately or offered as incentives at different stores. Now, this is something that we see a lot in gaming. Content is cut, it's offered as DLC, season passes, incentives at stores, to pre-order there instead of somewhere else. And the one thing I want to say is, Paramount, shame on you for doing this. You charge full price for the Blu-ray, but yet you make a lot of the content available elsewhere that you have to purchase independently, and that's fundamentally wrong if you ask me. Really don't like this. I really don't hope this is a new standard for Blu-rays and DVDs, because I really don't want for them to do that. I like special features, I like audio commentaries. I don't want to have to buy them from elsewhere. One thing that emerges from this is something that's quite interesting to me is downloadable audio commentaries. Now, I don't always have a lot of time to listen to audio commentaries, so it would be very interesting if I could listen to them on the go after I've watched the movie. So I'd hope, maybe more things would consider doing that. It's certainly great to listen to the commentaries that Brian and Chris do. So it would be great to have, the option to buy the filmmakers' commentaries as well. So it would be interesting to get access as an MP3, a download of the filmmakers' commentaries as well. I think that could be a way forward, especially the fact that we're moving quite a lot into digital now. It would be good to still see those things still available, only not at a price. Alright guys, that's the end of the show, but since it's the first episode, I want to give you something back. So, I have a digital copy of Cloud Atlas to give away. So if you were interested in seeing Cloud Atlas, but you didn't want to buy it, or you like it so much you'd like to take it on the go, then do get in touch. And what I want to hear from you guys is, what is your worst DVD or Blu-ray menu? Now, I had an experience recently with the Star Wars Blu-rays. My God, those menus are hideous. They're counterintuitive, they're slow, and everything's broken up into these sub-menus, and it's really, really complex. And it just didn't like it at all. Well, I want to hear from you guys. What is your worst DVD or Blu-ray menu? Comment below, and one of you guys will be lucky enough to get a copy of Cloud Atlas on Ultraviolet. Who doesn't want that? Do head over to Oneofus.net and check out the great Fantastic Fest content that the guys have put together. Head over to Twitter, follow us, head over to Facebook, like us, head over to iTunes and leave a 5-star review, and do support the show. And until next week guys, I will see you later.